It is the Working Class Bowhunter podcast, episode 591. What's up, guys?
Gee
Kurt
whiz.
Geyer speaking.
Eric Hammond.
Doug Schmidt.
Guest of the hours. We're gonna get Mark here from Novix is back, and we're gonna get him. My goal is to get him worked up on this episode with something, and we're gonna find it. Mark, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
I didn't even let him get a word in first. Just so you know, that's the goal.
Good luck.
Okay.
Ooh.
It's a challenge.
Here we go. Buckle up.
And we also have Dewey. I mean, not to be confused with the other Dwayne at Novix.
He's
vice
Dwayne.
versa. Yeah.
The other one's Dewey.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got him flip flopped. So
I know I did that on purpose, but I just
one's from West Virginia, one's from Indiana. We thought it would work better if we called the one from West Virginia Dewey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of
Feels
sense.
right. Yeah, it feels right.
And for some reason, I thought your last name was way more confusing.
Pretty confusing.
And
How do you say your last name? And he's just like, Jones?
So, and then I quickly was like, oh, well, when Doug read the veteran shout on the
Well,
Grits
yeah, you're
episode,
throwing me under the bus.
he couldn't read the word Christian, the name Christian. Did somebody fall through the floor back there or what?
Christian.
Okay, so what's up, guys?
What's happening?
Thanks for being in studio.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Yeah,
Anytime.
No
glad
problem.
You guys brought us gifts. First off, congratulations on the Raider series.
Yeah, thank you.
It's got to do the whole trade show circuit. I hung one yesterday at the time of recording this. I hung a Raider and a Hilo yesterday. I was a Novix overachiever.
Absolutely.
I was.
Well, I think hopefully you had a good experience with the new sticks.
I loved them.
Yeah, we're pretty proud of those.
Yeah.
And especially our hang-on, like the Raider series won't have a discount this year too because our margins, like I wanted to literally price it as cheap as we can because like I wanted to be as competitive as we can.
Of course, yeah.
You know, with the overseas model, and if you look at comparable aluminum models, we're actually cheaper than a lot of them for our hang-on. Like if you go look aluminum for aluminum, we're actually cheaper than China.
Yeah.
We
That's impressive
actually
work.
are. If you actually go look, people, and actually look, we're cheaper. So that's something to be really proud of.
For sure.
But we can't discount it because literally I priced it as cheap as we can. And
Yeah,
that's
you're
gonna be
right there, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the frustrations for some people. Like, well, you know, no matter what you price at, everybody wants a little cheaper, right?
Oh,
And that's just the American way. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, it's like we're going to price it the best we can up front so more people can get into it, and it is what it is. And if you like it, great. If you don't, I'm really happy with the Texline seat, too. That was a big thing from everybody.
I was going to ask you what you thought of it.
I'm excited for it, man. Especially like I talked about, like that's my setup's going to be like an all-day sit type stand, and I'm really excited about it. Now, I do like the traditional like Echo Hilo seat. I'm like so used to that. I grew up on that style of seat that I'm like pretty good in it.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to not be like sitting on metal
Yep.
for 6, 7, 8 hours, you know? So
I've done it.
I've sat in it obviously, but I'm excited to put it to like the full blown November 5th test.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be great. Obviously it's going to be great. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I like it. I like the concept of it. I like the feel of it. So
Well, I did a 3-pack. I weighed the 3-pack the other day, so I was at the warehouse and I was like, weighed the 3-pack, and I sent him to Alex, our marketing guy, and he's like, you gotta weigh them individually. I was like, weigh them individually? He's like, yeah. He's like, they're gonna ask how much they weigh individually. I said, no one's gonna ask. He's like, I guarantee you somebody's gonna. It was like
100% they will.
2 ounces, and I'm like, who would ask what it weighs?
How much
2
does one of the
ounces.
leaves weigh?
Yeah.
People nerd out on that shit,
Like,
dude.
I can't, like,
Somebody
I'm
got
not on social media. I'm
I
just
don't be
like,
carrying 10 leaves around.
They got a paper hole punch out there, just punching holes in the leaves to
my
make it lighter.
but you know what? That sounds silly, but it's
People think about it.
people would do that.
Oh, yeah.
1,000% they would.
The weight thing, man, I hope don't get me wrong. If it's light, that's great. But if it's 9 pounds or 10.5 pounds,
You're not going to know the difference.
you're not going to know a difference. But two, like we kind of went on a tirade when that was like the whole the mods and the weight obsession and all that. Make your setup your own, but at a certain point, like, just fucking use it.
Yeah.
And be fucking safe about it. Like, you see some of these setups, you're like,
Drilling
this guy's
holes in
gonna fucking
sticks.
kill himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For what? An ounce?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? What do they call
Just out
that?
here drilling holes.
Natural
Yeah,
selection.
just out here drilling holes.
That's fucked up. I shouldn't say that. I don't
Only the
mean
strong survive. Good luck, everybody.
that. Step out there. I
Then they
don't
blame you when your stand fails because they drill holes in it.
You're
should
out there
just
with
come
a
out-
stepper bit, you fucking homo. What are you doing?
You should just go complete opposite and come out with the heaviest stand ever made
For the men.
Yes.
for the men.
You have Dan Fitzgerald out there grilling hamburgers over. Did you see that old video?
No.
He's cooking like burgers or backstrap or something on a. He's got a like an old expanded metal
tree
hang
stand
on over the
platform?
fire. Yeah, cooking
Really?
off it. Yeah, it's one of the old
fucking
Fitzgerald videos.
lead paint on there burning off.
So here's the thing I'll say is it doesn't matter if anything was to fail on any tree stand, like any manufacturer, not just ours, but any manufacturer. If you follow the instructions, you're still not getting hurt. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Right.
Like if you wore your safety harness and you wore your it doesn't matter if that tree stand fails, you're still safe. If you fall and get hurt, it's because you weren't listening. Like you didn't pay attention to the safety instructions. Like
yeah,
that's on you. Like
yeah, for sure.
you know, like it is still built by a man, right? Like I mean,
Yeah,
there's still human hands touching every single product, and there's still a chance of something that could potentially happen. So the last thing you want to do is not follow the safety instructions because that's there to protect you.
for sure.
And I know it's I'm just going to put a bow hook in, or I'm just going to do this, or I'm just going to do that, but it's just not worth it.
Right.
Well, that too. It's just
It's
like
not worth it.
it's so easy nowadays to just be safe.
Yeah.
Like it's so easy to get a lineman's rope or get your everything. You know, like it's just easy. There's really no excuse anymore. But it really, I went from being like 75% safe to 98% safe now with kids. Kids changed it. When my dad was, I watched my dad hang with nothing and do crazy shit. I'm like, Dad, if you fall, you're hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and that's gonna be a bummer. But so I just think that too. Like I was by myself yesterday, hanging all that stuff. I could fall down in that ditch and maybe not get to my phone or be dead. You know, it's like it's just not worth it. Well, Doug, I know we bring you up every time.
Every time this
So
conversation
we're
gets-
gonna skip over.
It's a good story to repeat for us, for the listeners.
So yeah, I was that guy that was 0% safe, like from 16 till was it 2000? Yeah, New Year's Eve 2014 when I fell out. But I'd never use anything. I just set up the stand and get in it. No safety harness, no nothing. And then I did fall out, and I was by myself. So luckily I had my phone, but it's just awkward. It's not fun to call 911
No.
and tell them what you did, and they're just like, "Don't move," and you're like, "Well, I already did that a bunch." But
and you just got New Year's Eve, got brand new camo for Christmas, and
Yeah.
then cut it all off.
brand new heated jacket and everything. Yeah,
Where you
they
at?
cut
In the woods.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, okay." Like,
Yeah, what do they say?
Yeah.
oh, they just ask where you were, and then you gotta tell them like the vicinity, and then I tell them like what road my truck's on. That's like where to start, and then go. They actually made it through the field. There's snow and everything, so I mean it worked out.
They just
but-
baja through there with the aim bow.
Yeah,
Wow, yeah, you got lucky, dude.
Give her the beans.
It's a good thing you were young. Did you land on your legs?
yeah. Actually, compression fractured my spine, and then broke my pelvis. Yeah, 3 months in a wheelchair for that one.
Yeah.
That's wild, dude. I know.
You got lucky, dude. You could have been fucking paralyzed.
So lucky.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Point being, man, it's like the stands are as safe as they'll ever be right now, and it's really easy for everyone to get a harness, get your, tether line with a carabiner and a pressing knot, or get a mechanical ascender, even better, easier to use, less pain in the ass. Like Trophy Line sells all that shit, and they sell all the ascenders and all that. It's right there.
Yeah,
If
it's
you
all
can get-
super easy now.
The stands come with the stuff. Like you can. It's right there.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that much. It's like zero extra time, really.
Zero.
Yeah.
I feel like it's different to me. If I were to get into a stand, if I'm unhooked for a second, I feel a little uneasy.
Yeah.
And when I'm hooked in, I'm like, all right, we're cool, we're back.
Doing backflips.
I did the same. Like,
All mental. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
so whoa.
Did it get worse after you fell?
Putting up the first stand, I think that. Well, I had to go get my stand down when I could walk again, so it was kind of eerie, like climbing back up it. But
The same stand you fell out of.
Yeah.
You had to go get it.
yeah,
So when you guys are in the tree and you're hunting, where do you put your rope? Do you have it tight? Do you have a little bit of slack? How do you guys personally set your setups up?
I like it
Whoever
when
wants
I'm sitting down, it's a little tight, but when you're standing up, it's loose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
That's why I'm kind of
Because like you always know it's. I
Yeah.
don't know. You can just feel it.
Yeah.
Same way. That's what
Oh,
I
yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yep.
I feel a little bit of tension.
Yeah,
just when I sit
I like the
down.
little tension.
I'm good there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because then you can.
Yeah.
Take it and wrap it around your neck.
You missed that
Hold
big
your-
buck.
Like, just in case I fall asleep.
Yeah.
Not smart.
Some guys walking by. You all right?
Yeah, I like a little tension on there. Just like it, if you feel it, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I know
It's nice to feel it.
Mark really likes saddle hunting. That's like you want to be in that industry more, but tree stands just kind of
Yeah.
fell in your lap type
Yeah,
thing, right?
yeah, but I definitely want to be in the saddle.
With your knee pads.
All the things that
I
annoy you
love
about
knee pads in the woods. Something about it just gets me going.
just gets your rocks off. I like that.
I like the way that I feel, but honestly, I think the biggest thing for me is that I hear constantly in my area people wounding deer constantly from a saddle. Because if you think about it, and I started to think about it, and I'm like, a guy told me that hunts out of sight. He's like, man, I really love the saddle, but he's like, I've been shooting every deer, high. He's like, and I can't figure it out. And I was sitting there, and I was like, why would that be? And then I started thinking, and I'm like, well, how much do you practice out of your saddle? He's like, well, I don't practice, like, I'm not going to go put a saddle up to practice.
Mm-hmm.
But I practice out of a tree stand all the time.
Yeah.
Right? But you're not going to practice out of a saddle. Well, when you're torquing your body and you're doing all, you're changing
Your anchor point.
your anchor point.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is they're not because of the way you're sitting in the saddle, he wasn't changing, he wasn't bending properly. He was doing one of those, right? Well, what I'm saying is then I started asking a lot more questions, and I was shocked at how many people, when they were honest, were missing deer. I was like, I bet you missed it high. Yeah, how'd you know?
Little birdie
And,
told me.
and here's the thing, you're not practicing out of one.
Right.
You're not so when
I
you got to
think
be
too-
real careful.
Right. That was my biggest concern before I started saddle hunting consistently was like, yeah, your shot posture can't be how it should be. I don't know if I set up different. I'm not quite standing. I'm damn close to standing when I sit in mine, lean. I don't know what other way I go. However
You
you
just
want to
put
word
your
it.
knee pads right against the tree and stand.
No, but I am more
Great posture.
I'm not like sitting in it.
Yeah.
Like I shot my buck last year out of it and it felt just clean. Of course, I'm practicing and I have all my anchor stuff set and I shoot a lot and it felt clean. But you always see.
Did it just come broadside right there, and it was just?
I set it up for that.
Yeah.
So I guess in my turn, when I set up a saddle, I'm not gonna set it up to where I gotta like do something stupid.
Yeah.
Like
You don't have to cartwheel around the tree and then shoot.
typically, this is how I set up, and I always have I have a saddle set up and a Novix set up in the chamber.
Yeah.
Like I have one of each all the time. So if I gotta go make a move over there, I just pick, one, if I have a tree in mind, it depends on where I think the deer is going to be. So if I can help it and I can set my tree stand in for a righty and he's going to come on my left and I can just draw clean out of a tree stand and I know the tree or I have an idea in mind, that's what I'll grab. If it's going to be the other way so I don't have to spin around the stand, then I'll bring a saddle set up. Yeah. And if I have to hunt on the other side of it or whatever it may be. So for me, it just depends on what is what. But I'll always set up a saddle. I'm less experienced with the saddle. I'll always set it up to where it's like chip shot style or as clean as possible.
Right.
If I got to swing out and flip around and do these like show pony moves, I'm not doing it. I will grab a tree stand if that's what it's going to take. And I'm just being realistic about it. I'm just how I do it. If I, like the Saddle Hunter magazine just came out and trophy lines all over it, as well as some other great brands. And on the cover, Nick is on there doing one of like the saddle, like 180 things. I won't do that.
Yeah.
That's not for me.
Yeah.
If I have to, I guess, and I feel good, then yeah, maybe.
My subscription didn't come yet, so
Yeah,
I'm still
they made
waiting.
sure they.
Interesting.
You were on the fuck that guy. You were glad I called that guy list from Billy Madison.
Well, I think the
you were-
problem is that we're not shooting our bows on Instagram enough.
That is the biggest
Oh,
that could
problem,
be
man.
it.
I think that's
Yeah.
why you're wounding deer. Anyway, these guys, I think that's why they're wounding deer because they're not practicing on Instagram as much.
Let me see your Instagram, Mr. Deer.
yeah.
Hey, problem
Let
right
me see your
there.
Instagram. Yeah, you're not videoing yourself shooting enough on Instagram.
That's true.
From behind too.
Yeah, let me see them cheeks.
I got a great ass. Okay.
Yeah.
Especially in the hunting space, it can get toxic fast in hunting. Any
yeah.
industry, but
Yeah.
we see that first. But
Hunting's one of the more negative. I have companies in other industries.
yeah,
And we don't deal with nearly the. I'm just being honest. We
No,
don't
that's
deal with
interesting.
nearly the negativity in the other industries as we do in the hunting industry. And
no kidding. That's
and-
interesting. I figured it was everywhere. It just seemed worse to us because we're in it.
No, and I've thought a lot about it. I know this is weird. I don't sleep a lot, so I sleep like 2 hours a night.
Let it
So I
out,
think-
Mark.
Yeah,
Let it
yeah,
out.
I'm gonna let it out. Like I believe, and this is my theory in it, that we're all kind of. A lot of the people in the hunting industry are type A men, right? Like doers, like we're killers, right? We're hunters, right? So
Yep.
we mentally and we're just all competitive. A lot of people are competitive and a lot of people are type A. And it's like this, everybody's an alpha male, right?
Yeah,
Everybody wants to lead the pack. So no matter what, everybody's got to put somebody else down to make themselves look better, which is what happens a lot in hunting. Like,
Oh,
like
yeah.
why would you take 2 minutes out of your evening to write something negative about something that we're doing? Like, what good is that gonna do you? Like, if you
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
suggestion, give me a suggestion. But for you, just to be like,
To the
Well-
shit talking.
yeah, that sucks. I wouldn't buy that for that kind of money. Be like, well, okay.
Okay,
Like,
you don't have to.
Yeah, like you don't. Nobody said you had to. I didn't.
Right.
So. You know what I mean? Like those type of things like happen in the hunting industry so much more.
First
That
kill
negativity,
on
that
recording.
like the negativity towards that, like I would never pay that, or I would never do this, or it's like nobody else makes those comments in the other industry.
And half
like,
the
you know, I mean,
time-
nobody's
Yeah.
going out of their way
I
to
will
like
never,
make you
ever buy this.
Well, I think too there's a
make
lot of I don't know how to word this. Me brand people.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that person is their brand.
Right.
So it's like it'd be the I mean Doug's-
Type A alpha male.
Yeah, that's just what
There's
it is.
tons
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
A lot
I
of
feel we all have our own role. Like we're a us type of brand.
Yeah, you are.
And then there's like Bone Collector, which is an us type of brand. There's Drew Outdoors, which is a us type of brand. It's more like I don't know how I just made all that shit up. I don't really know how to like word it, but I think my point makes sense.
Yeah.
That's healthier. I think even though we're goofy guys and we talk shit and we say whatever we want and we're all just kind of like we're locker room talking all the time on our show.
All the time. And off the show.
So maybe some of that seems hypocritical with your point, like being the type A, because we'll like make fun of people, but we don't fully really mean malicious shit unless
You guys aren't being like, you guys aren't being.
Yeah, we're not
serious.
commenting.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're-
If I
Shit.
comment on that, like, hey, it's a piece of shit, I'm kidding.
Yeah. I think Camoflex is a total game changer. I think it's number one. I think it's priced really right. It's affordable. You always look at that tree, and it looks great this time of year. Every tree looks great this time. You're like, oh yeah, I can hang in that. And then you come back in November, you're like, whoa,
what the hell?
What happened here?
there? So Camoflex is really easy. And the one thing that we lacked, when I bought it, was that we didn't have any clips yet or anything like that. And I was like, I don't want to advertise this product that really there's no easy way to put it on the tree stand, right? And so we did something really simple this year, which is really easy. Any 1-inch tubing, though, so our Raider is 1-inch tubing. So a lot of other brands have 1-inch tubing. Tons. If you look at a lot of other brands, if you have 1-inch tubing, you buy our Raider clips and you can put Camoflex on anybody's brand. So there's Echo, Hilo, and Raider clips. Put them on the frame, slide it down in there, and literally you got leaves and foliage around you. It's awesome.
Ready to go. I'm
Ready
gonna
to rock
pimp
and roll.
my go-to raider that I was just talking about earlier in the episode is gonna get my big security
About to
cover
get flexed
branch
on?
fell. Oh, what's that?
Get flexed on.
Camo flexed on. Yeah, it's getting flexed on. Nice wordplay.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, getting Funk Master flexed on. What's up? But yeah, I'm gonna hook it up. I mean, it's artificial branches that you put on your stand when you accidentally trim too much, like the asshole. You thought you were doing good.
Yeah.
Like you said, you come back, you're like, oh, no wonder
It's
everything
an artificial
continues.
borderline.
Yeah.
Is this my tree stand? I don't remember putting it
Yeah.
here.
So, but yeah, like, and you can bend it around and it holds its position and all that. It's great. So, I'm gonna use the hell out of it.
Honestly, I think anybody who hasn't seen it really needs to check it out. Check out YouTube stuff. It's really slick, and it's really easy to put on now. I mean,
Yep.
these clips, you literally slide them on, push the branch down there, and it's done.
Yeah.
It's a big deal, and honestly, we're selling a lot of it now. It's actually
Good.
really starting to move, and we just literally started advertising it, but it's honestly taken off quite a bit. So,
Good. Yeah.
Well, it's really simple. It's awesome. But like we were just talking about tree stands here, but there's so much you can do with it. Like for turkeys in the spring, we typically run and gun with bows, and we're taking clippers and trying to clip stuff and put just the right thing in place.
Yeah.
If you take a couple pieces of that, you can literally brush in anywhere.
Right.
Whether you stake it in the ground or lay it and flex it out, like there's so many things you can do with it.
That's a good point too. Yeah, especially guys from the ground with no blind.
Yeah.
That's the move.
Yeah.
What I like about it in that stand, I had it set up in the stand that was there before, but now I put a raider in. I'm basically gonna put it and like bend it up so when I'm sitting, I'm just what I
Kinda
mean.
Gives you some coverage.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
clean. It's
Yeah.
be perfect. So
So I just sit down and like bend it to where I'm at, like
yeah,
chest level, because when I stand up, it clears the cam.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Um,
perfect.
But boats too, like ducks. We had a guy order like 20 of them the other day for his duck boat.
I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
know about that either.
Yeah.
We've had quite a few guys with their duck boats buying it, and they say they can attach it. You know, they don't need our clips, obviously, but they've been attaching to their boats for duck hunting.
Yeah.
So yeah,
100% that'd work.
I'm not a waterfowl guy, so I don't really know.
Not either.
You know what I mean? But
That
like,
shit-
they were all about it. Like
Yeah, if they're buying it, it must. I mean, and they kept buying it. There's got to be something.
pretty popular. We had this happen last year. Most of the sales weren't from deer hunters; they were from duck guys, and then it started this year. And honestly, our biggest orders have came from duck hunters.
I just wanted to talk about
Not mad about
Campoflex.
it.
I just feel like it's slept on. You know what I mean?
definitely
Like,
is.
100%.
and that's what I'm excited for. Get the ladder up. I'm gonna go back now that we have these. They're clips. How much do the clips weigh again?
Individually.
Individually.
Fuck. Don't be a mouse.
How much will them clips weigh?
All right, let's get out of here. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I'll link everything to Novix in the description of this episode. Support them, especially what they're trying to do for small hunting businesses around the states and American made. Don't have your tree stands dropped off by Chinese spy balloons.
No.
That's right.
Is that fair?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Thanks, fellas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know what to do. Go shoot your bow. We love you.